Today, we're diving into the latest news out of the Middle East. There's been a lot of tension recently, but we can't forget where all of this really started. This isn't new. This all began in 1948 when Israel displaced Palestinians, and the consequences of that displacement are still being felt across the region.
Exactly, Natasha. The modern conflict has roots that go deep into history. What we're seeing now with the Houthi airstrikes on Israel and Israel's response in Yemen is part of that long-standing fight. It's just taking on new dimensions with other regional players stepping in.
Right, the Houthis. They've been launching missiles and drones at Israel, which they say is an act of solidarity with the Palestinians. And now Israel has retaliated by hitting critical infrastructure in Yemen, ports and power plants, killing at least 4 people and causing major blackouts.
The Houthis are aligned with Iran, and we know that Iran has a long-standing relationship with Hezbollah as well. So this is a much larger conflict than just Gaza or Lebanon. It's pulling in other countries and groups. And with the Houthis continuing their strikes on Israeli targets, including Ben Gurion Airport, this could spiral even further.
What stands out to me is how this keeps escalating on all fronts. Israel's actions in Gaza, Lebanon, and now Yemen are pushing the region closer to wider war. The Houthis aren't backing down. They're adamant that these strikes on Israel won't deter them from supporting the Palestinians.
And it's not just the Houthis. Iran has condemned the strikes, calling them inhumane. Hamas has also expressed full solidarity with the Houthis. This solidarity is a big deal. It's no longer just Israel against one or two groups. It's a whole axis of resistance groups, all deeply connected.
Yeah, and Israel's military said that the Houthis are working with Iran and Iraqi militias to destabilize the region and disrupt global navigation. This conflict is becoming a lot bigger than just a battle over land or borders. We're talking about the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, and shipping lanes that impact the global economy.
And let's not forget that all of this is happening while Israel is still bombarding Gaza and Lebanon. Millions of people are displaced, and the humanitarian toll is massive. Just recently, Hezbollah's chief Hassan Nasrallah was reportedly killed in an Israeli strike in Lebanon, which the Houthis have condemned. It's like each new strike ratchets up the conflict even further.
This isn't something that's going to calm down anytime soon. The Houthis have fired missiles deep into Israel, and each time Israel responds, the casualties and devastation grow. And it's all connected to the original displacement of Palestinians. That 1948 Nakba isn't just history, it's an ongoing struggle that keeps drawing more players in.
Exactly, and while the Houthis are being attacked in Yemen, they've made it clear that they won't stop their campaign. Their message is that as long as Israel attacks Palestinians, they will continue to attack Israel. It's a vicious cycle, and there doesn't seem to be a diplomatic solution on the horizon.
And let's not overlook the core of this conflict. At its base, this is all because of 2 things: religious beliefs and real estate. The land Israel occupies is seen as sacred by multiple religions, and that clash over who has the right to it is a major driving force behind all of this violence. Combine that with the long-standing enmity between groups like Jews, Muslims, and Christians in the region, and it becomes a war that never seems to end.
Yeah, it's real estate and religious claims all mixed together. That's what makes this conflict so hard to resolve. It's not just political or military. There's a deep historical and spiritual element that drives it forward. When land becomes a religious symbol, it's no longer just about borders. Every piece of it becomes priceless to those who believe their God gave it to them.
And that's why it's so volatile. You can't just sit down at a table and negotiate when people believe their divine right is at stake. This is about faith, identity, and who owns what. It's why peace feels so elusive, and why the conflict keeps dragging more people and nations into its web.
This is a dangerous escalation, and the region is on the edge. More lives will be lost, more civilians will be displaced, and the humanitarian situation is only getting worse. We'll keep following this story closely, and in the next episode, we'll dive deeper into the implications of a potential wider regional war.
So until next time, keep your eyes open and stay informed. This is Not the Right.